This team gets me excited because I own the gear. I cheer for them. This is my college football 25, 26 rebuild team. Like, this is my G5 program. This is the one I want to follow. I will go out of my way to watch them on ESPN Plus when they play at Texas Tech and get beat by 85 points like it last year. And I also had them +6 in that game. So let's not do that again. But the North Texas Mean Green going into this year, a lot of excitement because they made some changes that the fan base have been waiting for quite some time that they really needed to. Last year, 6-7, you lose the bowl game, and we'll talk about that bowl game when we talk about the quarterback battle going on. But Texas State fans, don't come for me. I understand you beat them in the bowl game. I get it. You already told me once when I threw a tweet out about Drew Mestemaker, who we'll talk about. Head coach, still Eric Morris, great offensive mind in college football in his 2 years there. He's 11-14. Obviously, the record doesn't reflect kind of what the statistics behind his units have been on the offensive side of things. On the offensive coordinator side, it's Jordan Davis, a guy I constantly talk about throughout this show, one of the best young quarterback coaches and offensive coordinators in the country in my mind. If you look through the list, and I told this to a group of buddies the other day, if you look through the list of the top last 2 years, the top 15, 10 offenses in college football, you're going to see a lot of blue blood programs, a lot of gigantic brands, a lot of playoff teams, and North Texas will be in there. That's just what they do. I mean, they're not going to bore you to death. That's just not who this team is. They're going to put up a ton of points a game. It's a great offensive school. On the defensive coordinator side, they finally made the change they needed to. In comes a new defensive coordinator in Skylar Cassidy. He comes over from Sam Houston State last year, who was a really good defense, a team that ran to 10 wins because of how much their defense kept them in games their first year in the FBS. Let's start on the offensive side of the ball. The offensive side of the ball, when it comes to the players, we talked about the room, we talked about the coaches, the playbook's there, the schemes are there. How's it going to fit? To put that in perspective, though, this team finished 2024 third in FBS in total offense, fourth in the passing offense, 23rd in scoring offense, and set a program record with 330 passing yards a game. Who's going to throw it this year? Drew Mestemaker, the redshirt freshman now, he's an option. He threw for 393 yards and had a 70-yard touchdown rush in the first responder bowl loss to Texas State because you're trying to replace a Chandler Morris who gave you a dual threat look. It was really opened up their offense, extended plays really well. He moved on. So now it looks to be Mestemaker's the guy. However, here comes another transfer, which is why the quarterback battle is still standing. Reese Poffenbarger. And I think I said it right. Poffenbarger. Thank you. The Miami transfer. He backed up Cam Ward last year. If you don't know who Cam Ward is, you're probably watching the wrong show, but he went number 1 overall in the draft. So not a bad guy to be a backup for. Got some limited blowout experience, but he's a really high ceiling guy, 4-star recruit, like dual threat. He's got the ability to run. He kind of gives you both looks that you want in a North Texas offense. So both of these are viable options. I know the fan base really thinks Mestemaker is going to be the guy because of what they've seen from him, but Poffenbarger definitely has the ability to take over this quarterback room. The running backs, got a couple of good backs returning. Mackenzie McGill II, he returns 10 touchdowns last year on the ground, only 470 yards though. The offense really likes to sling it around, so the backs are more in that receiving style role, which takes into effect for their transfer running back from Missouri State, Jaden Becks. A nice receiving back. I think he's going to be involved in the special teams. He's elusive. He's not very big, but he kind of fits perfect in an Eric Morris and Jordan Davis offense. The wide receiver position, this is where you got to make up some pretty hefty ground, I will say, for your offensive production. DT Sheffield, the first team all-conference receiver, he leaves and heads over to Rutgers. Who's going to step up and replace him? You got guys that are still in the room and still in the scheme. Dalton Carnes, Miles Coleman, those are very good options, but it seems like to match the level DT Sheffield was at, where he would literally score on back-to-back plays on 2 separate drives to start games for North Texas, you're asking a lot from that group. They did bring in one transfer on the outside. I want to mention Sam Houston State, Simeon Evans, really good wide receiver, gives you another downfield threat. I don't know if he'll be able to replace that. Maybe Landon Slides also in the slot can kind of give you that speed that you're looking for there. The offensive line has some turnovers, but the depth from last year kind of makes it seem like it's not going to be the worst thing in the world. Like they're going to have to pick some pieces, use one transfer in that room, but the offense is going to be good again. I mean, shockingly enough, I'm talking about North Texas, and their offense is going to be good on paper. It's not a new story here. On the defensive side, this is a different story. This is where we need to have the chat, and it's not going to be like a rip you chat like it was when I previewed Kent State, but the excitement is there for good reason, because here's how bad that defense was last year. 35.5 points a game, 500 yards per game given up, and 8.5 yards per pass given up. In comes Skylar Cassidy, whose comparative rankings at Sam Houston State go as follows. He only gave up 20 points a game, 300 yards, and 6.3 yards per pass. Those are big differences in numbers, but that's a top 25 defense in the country I just talked about in Sam Houston State from last year. So the guy knows what he's doing. Before he got to Sam Houston, they were 88th overall in total defense. He got there, then they were 20th last year. So the guy can do it, and he can do it fast. And that's what North Texas needs, because it's really what's been holding them back. In games that they don't score 35 points on the offensive side for North Texas, they're 1 in 10 because of how bad this defense has been. So very important. Here's the luggage that Skylar Cassidy brought with him. And it's pretty hefty. I mean, he brought a good majority of the Sam Houston D with him. Quarterback David Fisher, named second team All-Texas preseason, going to be really good at the defensive back position. DT Richard Outland Jr., 3 sacks last year. Edge Bryceon Hayes, 5 sacks, a forced fumble, and interception last year. Linebacker Trey Fields, 50-plus solo tackles last year. And another defensive back in Davion Armstead, quality defensive back. All, shockingly enough, better players than what left North Texas or what they had. So the returning production really comes from Sam Houston State, but that seemed to be good production because of what that defense did last year. You have to think the unit on the defensive side will take a step forward, and North Texas will take a step forward because of it. A lot of people don't know because it's an entirely new scheme, but if it works out, you're going to be talking North Texas more often than you think. They like to play tough games on the road, but I think if they can cut the points given up down to even 25, you're really looking at a much better season and not a bowl loss. Like you're looking at 8 to 9 wins in my book. I think that the North Texans get to it, and that may be a little Kool-Aid because it's my de facto team. Schedule-wise, you get Washington State at home. That's must-see TV. I really like that game. I think we need to preview that game almost. And then besides that, you get at Army. Besides that one, that's my really only away bid in conference that you get that I don't love. I love the schedule outside of that. You miss Tulane. You get South Alabama in a tougher non-con, but like you miss some bigger brands on this schedule. So I think North Texas might be a sleeper pick. Am I drinking a little bit too much Kool-Aid in my
Did that count? Did I only count 4 road games or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 road games?
Yeah, 5. I see 5,
and they're all easy too.
Yeah,
so good.
That's what I'm saying. So I think
going to Mikey Stadium's easy.
if they can get it going on the defense, like just stop somebody a couple times. I mean, this team can be good. What do you think, JP?
25 would be aspirational. Give me like 28. Game. Like only giving up 28. Now we're making real progress, right? It's a program that is used to winning. They have really good talent. They recruit the state really well. So I think it's on the up and up, but it is find the identity and then build on the weaknesses. And that's kind of been that's been the MO of this team for years, and it's got to get there.
Yeah. And I think the media is a little questioning on the quarterback battle just because Messmaker's still young. We haven't seen him play through a whole season. Poffenbarger's not really a proven entity because he's been in backup roles most of the places, but like they're still picked middle to last of this conference. What do you think, Jake?
I mean, Poffenbarger or Berger or whatever I've heard in the past. And he threw for 6,000 yards. I like Messmaker. I think Messmaker would start, but he threw for a ton at Albany. So we'll see. But I think the receiver side, you plug and play guys, not worried there. The defense it's interesting. I don't think your expectations should be that it's complete 180 turn. Like JP said, 28 points a game. Another thing they're kind of going up against, and I know Christie brings in his guys, but in this conference, you have 2 service academies who are the better service academies at this moment. You got Tulane, you got a Jeff Traylor offense. Like it's a lot different scheming up stuff than your Conference USA slate if you're Christie. So we'll see. It can't be worse, right?
Yeah, I would be shocked if it was any bit worse. I wouldn't watch him as much, I would think. I don't think I can handle that because I think it was the Memphis game last year I turned on, and it might have been the Memphis game. And I literally think North Texas ran 2 offensive plays and we're up 14-0, and by like 2 drives, like 2 plays later was 14-14. Like that's just where this conference is at some point. So that's North Texas.